they must abide by the decisions of the officials. Spectators can support their interscholastic program by refraining from derogatory remarks or cheers. We hope that you will enjoy the game and that you will support all the participants in a positive, sportsmanlike manner. Let's meet the starting lineups. We'll start with the visiting Tigers. Senior number 12, Gage Kingman. Senior number 3, Jason Kang. Senior number 21, Fabio Gonzalez. Junior number 2, Alex Tavares. Junior number 14, Demir Santiago. Junior number 9, Mateo Hagemeyer. And sophomore number 15, Tyler Stewart. Tigers led by head coach Cody Chapman, assisted by Thomas Giannis and Amanda Machado. And now, your Durfee Hilltoppers. Number 15, junior, Sarah Andrew Saunders. Junior number 17, Marcelo Cardozo. Junior number 10, Nico Cardozo. Junior number 2, Nathan Kucher. Junior number 9, Alison Guitarra. Senior number 12, Millie Nero. And senior captain number 20, Dave Keys. Hilltoppers is led by head coach Brenda Kelly, assisted by Chris Policino. We ask at this time that you please stand and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem. Welcome to the broadcast here from the Luke Urban Fieldhouse. Evan Massoud and Daniel Keating with you for this playoff match between Taunton and Durfee. A great match that we're expecting because these two teams seeded pretty close, 8 and 9. Durfee 12 and 8, and Taunton 11 and 9. So Daniel, these two teams already squared off twice this season. Both matches went to 5.
Really?
And both teams won at home. So home court, always big. Durfee gets it because of the better record. But most recently, their most recent match came less than a week ago in the regular season finale at Taunton, and Taunton won that one in 5 sets, 3-2. So again, two very evenly matched teams. For Taunton, you're going to want to watch out for some of their front guys. Fabio Gonzalez, Tyler Stewart, both 6'4". Alex Tavares, 6'4". I'm sorry, Gonzalez is 6'6". So some big guys up front. But Durfee has some solid height too. Coach Kelly told me before the game that averaging this team about 6 foot 6'1". He says one of the taller teams he's had. So I think that you're going to see some pretty good matchups here, especially in front of the net. We saw that against New Bedford.
Yeah, we did.
And Durfee made a lot of adjustments to be able to penetrate the defense later in that match. And I think that's what it's going to take here. It's going to feel out the opponent and then hopefully make those corrections. It's a mentally tough Hilltopper team, and I know that playing on their home court it's got to be a positive for them.
Yep.
We're underway.
But like you said, the height of Taunton is just like as 6'4", 6'6", and Durfee's averaging around 6 feet, which isn't too bad. But they had a little problem with height of who did they play the game we commentated before?
That was New Bedford. They had
Yeah.
DePina up front for New Bedford, and but again, even with he had some good swings, he had some good blocks, but Durfee started finding a way.
Well, yeah, towards the end, they kind of felt out the team, and that's where it really changed. But if Durfee just has to feel out the team here, and then hopefully get this game. We're gonna see a 5-set one again tonight.
I don't know. It's gone that way both times.
It has.
Jake Fitzgerald running camera this afternoon, and he said to me, it's almost maybe it's a good thing that Durfee lost against Taunton.
Yeah.
Lost against these guys just last week in the season, because he said the hardest thing to do, as I'm sure you know too, is to beat a team 3 times in a season.
Yeah.
You get a loss, you have something to think about now, and you
make adjustments.
Yeah, maybe a little more driven to like we got to correct this. We're not going down 2 times in a row. Good hit from D. Carvalho. The Tigers able to play it though. Saunders with the set here. Oh, that's going long. Marcelo Cardozo sent it just a bit too far. And 2 straight points now for Taunton. We're knotted up at 2. No, we don't have the third voice of the broadcast team. Coach Bullier could not be with us for this one, and we miss having her here. And, of course, I did already warn her that if Durfee does not come out on top in this one, it's going to be her fault because, from the superstitious side of things.
Yeah, she's
right.
been here every single time they've won. So.
Right. So that one went Durfee's way. The good hard swing there, and then it was kicked away on the deflection, went out of bounds. That's going to go down as well. Sliding to a stop was Hagemeyer. Chasing it down as well was Kingman. One thing you'll notice here with the tournament is that we have 4 officials. Yeah,
I noticed that. I was about to ask the question. They have somebody down there with a flag. I'm very confused.
Yep, no, that's what we.
Another one, yeah.
Yep, those are for the back line, so that we can make sure, all those little questionable ones that we say, ooh, that looked in. That's why they're there. So we get the extra, those extra officials, the linesmen.
And they only do that in the playoffs?
Only in the tournament. And I'll tell you one thing. I know it's because it's less games, obviously, in the tournament, but I think you really need them in the regular season,
Yeah, no, I was just thinking the same thing. That's why I asked if they only have them in the playoffs, because there was a lot of calls that, kind of changed games that were just, was it in or out,
Well, I mean, I talked about this in the fall. That one falls in, too. Hilltoppers on a 5-0 run. In the fall with girls volleyball, you got 4 officials here on a court, it's playing surface smaller than the basketball court.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, you only have 3 officials in the tournament for soccer on a field, a playing surface about 6 times the size of this.
Yeah, no.
So to me, the numbers just don't add up in terms of officials per square foot, but this is very important. I'm glad that they have both.
Wow.
For the playoffs at least, because you're right.
Yeah.
There are very important calls. Nice save from Kuchar, and it goes over. Saunders will set. Danny Keys going with the soft touch off the fingertips. Blocked in front, and it goes out of play. Gonzalez with the kill.
And Keys on that last play had one with a lot of power on it that I thought was going to go Durfee's way, but Taunton just got right to it.
Well, Keys didn't get a good look at that one. Good block in front. Keys gives Durfee their 8th point. So the bracket is actually made up of 13 teams here in South D1 with big surprise. New Bedford Volk, the #1 seed, once again, they are always right at the top. Always right at the top. And with that said, the winner here of this one will face off against New Bedford Volk in the next round.
That one's going to be a tough one.
It will. New Bedford Volk 18-1.
Oh, yeah.
They earned the bye along with Needham and North Quincy. Wow. Straight down, nobody home. And the Tigers keep possession. That was Hagemeyer who literally put that, you know, I mean, it was a good hit, but he kind of might have held on to it a little bit. That's in, and the Hilltoppers with the point. But you know, as we kind of talked about in the New Bedford match, there's so few teams, so few boys volleyball programs, and particularly like down this way. And there's way more up in the Boston area, but the brackets are not always that big, and they're always, the middle of the pack is always so tight. Like Coach Kelly told me, the 10 seed came down to literally a coin flip between 3 different teams.
Really?
Because the records were so close and head-to-head was so close, and so it's like, it's amazing to me that
that's crazy.
The middle, really. That's why I was saying that, you know, if Durfee ended up 13-7 versus 12-8, even, I mean, you could jump 4 spots by flipping a loss for a win on your record. Like, that's how tight these brackets are. In particular, like I said, particularly with volleyball, because there's just not that many teams. So you're seeing a lot of the same teams during the regular season because you need games. You need to fill a schedule. Keys with the serve. Hilltoppers up 10-7, hoping to add some more. That's nice, a great block. Oh, nice job to keep it in play by Hagemeyer on the other side. And Durfee will send it over now on the third touch. And Taunton will have a chance to set for more points. Another good nice block up front. Nilla Nera and Marcelo Cardozo doing a good job. Nera with the kill. That was a really good rally on both sides of the equation.
Yeah, it was. A lot of blocks. I mean,
a lot of blocks up front for Durfee. Again, Hagemeyer with a great save back here to just keep it still in play because I thought it was coming out.
Yeah.
Keys with another good serve, sends it to the back line. And that is in, right on the corner. Good place to live, and Taunton gets it back. Serving is the 6'4", Tyler Stewart.
And he's a sophomore, right, you said?
He is a sophomore.
Yeah, wow.
And he's got to field that one, and he does, and it's into the net. Kingman could not do anything with it. It was kind of a wonky pass to begin with. It didn't get very high. Saunders sends it away, and now we'll move forward. Oh, kept in. Saunders will get there. Danny Keys with the save of the match so far.
Wow.
Unfortunately, though, the Hilltoppers getting tagged with the error there, and now Taunton will get it back. So Keys with that great reaction, all for naught. And Kingman will serve. 12-9. Nico Cardozo sends it over now. Oh, Keys couldn't get to that one. Really good downward motion there. I believe that was Alex Tavares, number 2.
It seemed like they were all bunched up in the front there, waiting to block it. Didn't really have anybody to stop it in the backcourt, would you say?
No, you're absolutely right. And part of that was because, at least on the last exchange, Saunders was serving, so then he's racing up from back. So, right through Cardozo, and it is tied at 12.
Man, it's a lot of unforced errors that you don't want to be making in a tournament game.
Yeah, like the hand just
just
folded. Sometimes that happens. So Kingman will keep serving, looking to give his team what would be their first lead of the match. Early action here, set 1. Ooh. Oh, what a good swing from Marcelo Cardozo, but it comes right back. Now on the third touch, he sends it. Tigers send it back now. Nera wants a kill. That is out. Oh, Durfee gets the call. Must have been deflected. (13-12). And Kuchar lines up at the screen, as he always does. Deep serve. Tavares. Oh, it's tipped back. Nice job. Both guys in front of the net for the Hilltoppers. Neither of them touched it. And then the carry getting called on the Tigers, so Durfee gets it back.
That was a very blatant carry, too.
Yeah.
I knew that. Let's see here.
Try to set for Tavares again. No, going to go to the far side. Ooh. Another good block up front for the Hilltoppers. Back-to-back blocks for the Hilltoppers. DiCarvalho with the kill. Right on the line. Well, I'm impressed with the front here. Whoever's been up front so far in set number 1 has been very strong for Durfee.
No, they have, and they've executed on everything here. Everything that they just lob up, it seems like it's been going their way most of the time. So
the time and the jumps and the angles coming off of the hitters from Taunton going right to the hands, and they can't get through. Another block. Ready for it was Nico. That one they have to send over the hands. That's trouble. Third touch sent back again. Saunders, everybody scrambling for Durfee. DiCarvalho wants another, and that one goes long. Taunton gets a point back. That's a really good serve.
No, it was, and this is very evenly matched going into you know, the 15th score here. Yeah. And that one's gonna go Durfee's way, but so now it's 16-13, so evenly matched. You know, it's like the one we had the other week. It was just back and forth.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what we were expecting. Yeah. I always love the serves there that have literally like no spin on the ball because they really are so hard for the opponent to track. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, the ball has grooves. It's not a perfect sphere. Mm-hmm. It has little grooves, and when it's
And they are playing with tenacity right now. It's
Danny Keys with a great spike to keep Durfee in command here. Wow, quick release there. A little short set for Saunders. That falls in no man's land. Taunton will get it back. But I was saying about the servings that, you know, the ball has a groove in it, so it's not just this perfect sphere. So with the grooves, when you have no spin on the ball, it just kind of starts to flutter. Yeah. You know, I always compare it to a knuckleball in baseball. So it's very hard to, it could just literally fall right off the table in front of you. It could dive to the right, to the left, drift. I mean, it really just kind of dances in the air. Mm-hmm. And it makes it very difficult for a team to return. Oh, that's trouble. Oh, and it's out. (17-16).
And Taunton with the serve.
Saunders getting down low for the set that time. Oh, nice job again. Cardozo reaching over.
He's done that so many times here, and it's really paid off for Durfee.
And I said 17-16. That was my bad. It's actually 18-15. That's trouble, and unable to get that outstretched arm underneath it was Cardozo. So now 18-16, and Taunton with control again. The 6'6" Fabio Gonzalez, tallest on the team, sends it over. Very low serve. That's big trouble. Durfee was not ready for that. And again, the Tigers within one of tying. Another soft serve. Saunders going to set for Keys. Right down. Actually, he didn't get a lot on that one, but the angle was perfect. He looked for the open spot, and there was only one defender there, and he wasn't ready for it.
And now it's 19-17.
This is the time in a set where you want to start to kind of build a little lead so that when you get down to 23, 24 points, you're more than 2 ahead. That way you don't have to worry about, going to extra points to win by 2.
Yeah.
So this is always a good spot to try to build. Nice serve from Thomas Michael. Kingman, it's blocked. Nera is there. Another tip, that's out of play.
It's really hard to judge, how this is going to go. It's just the momentum's been switching on either side here, so don't really know yet, but hopefully one team.
Oh, that goes out of play. Durfee back up by a pair. Again, always good to, Coach Bullier said it before, always good to work right along the antennas, because if it gets blocked and you're hitting it on an angle, angling it back into the field of play, it's going to probably come back, and that's exactly what's happened a couple times here on this side of the court. Well, that was a great angle for Kingman.
That was.
Almost parallel to the net, and it's 20-19.
And there was really no one there to get that for Durfee.
Oh, no, not happening. It deflected off of Nera, and it went out of play. Now, if he didn't touch it, it would have been out.
Yeah.
But he was right there. Of course, he's in the way. Kind of shoot it. Look at that play from Nera. Takes it right back again. Good heads-up volleyball. Noticing again that there's nobody down there, catching everybody off guard. They're breaking this way, so where do you go? You go to the opposite.
Exactly, just great volleyball.
Kuchar sends it back. Saunders setting from behind. Nera, good swing on the ball. And Taunton has it back. As we trade points in possession here in the latter half of game number 1. Nera jumps in to swat it over. Tipped. That was deflected. It's in anyway. 22-20.
They've been just trading points here.
Really?
Back and forth.
Kuchar with the serve. Ranging over to set with Santiago, and that's trouble. Did not get a good read on that. And a timeout called by Coach Giottis, who's running things today for Coach Chaperone, who could not be here. And it's a good time to call timeout because one more point for Durfee, and they're at a set point. They're ready to go. So you want to try to formulate a plan here, get that ball back, and start chipping away here. I mean, we're 2 points away from moving on. The Hilltoppers are. So this is a good time to call timeout because 3 points, a 3-point lead at this juncture here is always a good spot to be in, at least for Durfee. It's not a good place to be in if you're trailing. So a good timeout from Giottis.
Yeah, it's also like icing the kicker in football. It's just like you want to kind of take the momentum away, kind of throw the other team off and see if the team that's down right here can just, take advantage of that.
Durfee calls it here after 60 seconds. Taunton just about ready to come back. You get 75 seconds for each timeout. And the Tigers come back to the court. Kuchar serving. Cardozo, oh, it comes right back at him. It's still in play. Great job from DiCarvalho. Nobody home. And the Tigers get it back. (23-21). And Santiago will serve.
It looks like the playing field is a little wet here, so.
No, it's not that warm in here, actually. It's been cool, kind of cool the last couple days. But, you know, we're not working up a sweat here. We're just watching. So.
And
now we are ready.
Volleyball is back underway.
That's trouble. I saw that coming a mile away. That's where the height really helps you out. 23-22.
Yeah, I think they put a little too much power on that because he was trying to get it to one of his front guys to hit it over, and it just went over by itself.
That's better from Kuchar. Got down below it. DiCarvalho gets the point. Set point for the Hilltoppers.
Let's see if they can utilize this to go up 1-0 in this best out of 5 match.
John Karam will serve and try to send Durfee to that second set with a lead. Blockers are ready. Blockers are there. Hilltoppers win set 1, 25-22. And exactly what we said at the start. Close throughout, back and forth, lots of points for both sides. No real runaway at any point in that first set. You want to start out good. Coach Kelly said that, you know, it's a mentally tough team he's got this year. They have clawed back a number of times, New Bedford being that most recent that we were here for. But he says, no matter what, there's no tomorrow unless you win. You got to start off strong. Winning the first set is a big advantage for Durfee. Now, looking at last year's bracket, ironically, so Taunton's kind of had a down year this year. They were 18-0 last year. They were the number 1 seed.
18-0.
That's right. They were the number 1 seed, only to be beaten by Needham in the South Finals. But Durfee was in the same spot out of 13 teams they were last year. They are seeded 8th at 12-8, and they were 12-8, seeded 8th last year. How ironic. But last year they faced Brookline. Got to host, but you know, Brookline being 12-8, a little different than Durfee being 12-8 because Brookline's playing almost all Boston schools. And again, the level of competition once you get up there, a little bit stronger. So the Hilltoppers did not advance last year. They would have advanced to face Taunton, the number 1 seed.
Oh, so they didn't even advance in the first round.
No, they ended up, it was one and done last year. So this group, most of these guys are back this year, so they want to move on. They know New Bedford Voc is waiting, but you got to play the games. Got to play the games. You can say a team looks great on paper any day of the week, but you got to play the game and earn the win. So the Hilltoppers get to host today, but they would travel if they advance.
Yeah. And they'd be advancing further than they did last year. So
that's right.
That's always good, making progress.
So as we always do, we switch sides here. And again, Durfee with that all-important early advantage taking the first set. Now the pressure's on Taunton to bounce back and try to avoid going down 2-0. The Hilltoppers are ready to go, that's for sure. So we were supposed to have, I mentioned it on the Facebook page, Fred TV Sports. So P.S. if you haven't liked and followed it, please do so. We post everything on there, all the sports. But we were supposed to do baseball on Tuesday because it was senior night against Taunton, as it turned out. But we got, what do you know, rain. So
wow, what a surprise.
What a surprise, right? So that got postponed, and it's happening same time as this game. So unfortunately for the seniors of baseball,
and
playoff volleyball takes precedent over that. But we were supposed to do that Tuesday, and I was going to have some highlights from last weekend's track and field meet because Cam Rogers is really making a splash. And so we have some footage of that and a couple other competitors from Jake, because Jake is a coach for track and field. And but we weren't able to run that because there was no game. So we're saving that for playoff baseball or softball, whichever comes first next week. Tournament pairings for that come out on Tuesday. Oh. Hard-fought first point goes for Durfee. But we will have highlights from that meet, and we'll have updated results because by next week, another meet will have happened. But you know it's been a pretty big year for Cam and a number of guys. Some good records being broken and reset. So it's been a very successful spring, I'd say, for track and field.
Well, it has, yeah. Well, for personal reasons anyway, team reasons, you know, we need more people out there. But for people beating records, it's been really successful.
And so, you know, we're mentioning Cam is that he is trying to get to nationals for high jump and the 400 hurdles, which the 400 hurdles, he broke the record last week, school record.
His own record, actually.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, but he's trying to get to nationals, which are in North Carolina.
Yep.
And so there is a GoFundMe page to try to help Cam get there. Be great to see a Hilltopper representing in the nation in a national meet. I mean, that's really just, that does not happen every day. So, you know, we wish Cam the best. We hope the fundraising's going okay. If you can support him, of course. You know, the Durfee community here and the Fall River community always gets behind athletics, especially here at Durfee. Such a great reputation for sports. So hoping things go well for Cam and that he gets there. That's a little teardropper from Alex Tavares. Again, though, kind of close to bringing it over. They're letting it go a little bit. That would not have, you know, that wouldn't fly last week against New Bedford because they called it a couple times, and it was very similar to that. So Tavares got to be careful. Blocked.
Nice block.
Kept alive, though. Tavares going down to the court. Blocked again in front, and the Tigers get to reset. Gonzalez blocked again. 3 times in front by Cardozo. Three strikes, you're out. And Karam will serve.
He just invited all of Taunton to the block party. I'll tell you that.
Boom. Love it. I mean, really, how many times?
I know.
Just great timing, good hands. Little teardrop kick is still in play, but nobody there to help out Gonzalez. And it's 5-3 Durfee, pulling back ahead here. I'm sorry, 4-3. 4-3 Durfee. Kept in by Karam nicely. That was a good swing from Paiva. Another block. I'll tell you, nothing's getting by Nico Cardozo. It's like a barricade. Well, here's something else we can talk about. Sources tell me that The Big Three is dissolving. And it's going to be 5 teams. Dartmouth, BR, coming from Old Colony, because Barnstable trying to get out of that to be part of the Cape League. Because they're like the only Cape Cod team that's not in the Cape Cod leagues. They're playing Dartmouth and, you know, BR for.
Yeah.
So Old Colony, 3-team race. Big Three, 3-team race. So kind of been tossed around the last like 2 years, 3 years as to, you know, if Barnstable really pulls away, what's going to happen? Can't have a 2-team league. I mean, that's just plain silly. As it is, I think a 3-team league is kind of silly. So the Big Three, Durfee, New Bedford, Brockton, and the remaining OC2, BR and Dartmouth, will be joining to make a 5-team league, and I believe that's starting the next year. Yeah. Jake, as a coach, Jake has said that's also what he's been told. So,
what are we going to call that one?
It was no, they were saying it's going to be the South Coast something, but they can't say fully South Coast because there's already a South Coast 3, Division 3 league. That South Coast is what Somerset's part of. There was some term, I'm blanking on it now, but needless to say, the news of it is that the Big Three is dissolving. And, I mean, the thing is, schedule-wise, I don't really see much changing for any of the teams, because we play Dartmouth in almost everything. We play BR in a good chunk of games. We play Brockton and New Bedford in everything. Transversely, Dartmouth, same deal. Old BR, the same deal. All 5 teams pretty much play each other already. What it's going to do is it's going to make more games meaningful. Instead of, you know, for basketball, right, you play 4 Big Three games, 2 at home, 2 away. So literally the home crowd sees 2 games that are Big Three, and it's like the rest of the games are just like, okay, great, it's just another home game. But now you're doubling that.
Yeah, and that's going to do that for every sport?
Pretty much.
Wow.
So that means for football, you're going to face BR. You're going to face Dartmouth every year. You're going to face, and then, of course, Brockton and New Bedford.
Okay.
Now, half your schedule, you have games.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? We don't have to, like, go all the way to Quincy just to find a matchup. Oh, off the basketball net. And the Hilltoppers with a little home court advantage right there.
Yeah.
Because that is in play.
And it's just, I'm just trying to think about it, because I know in track we have a Big Three meet, and then as well as in winter track, though, I don't really see it for spring track really being a big deal. But winter track, I think we play BR and Dartmouth in all of our meets, and they just went down as a you know, like a I think we just played them, so it was just a standard varsity meet.
Yeah.
But I'm not too. Can you play a big? Because I know something happened. You can only play a Big Three team once, something like that. So when we played New Bedford, it was a JV meet. When New Bedford was at Wheaton College. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can only play them once.
Well, yeah, for you guys it's different. You know, with basketball you play home and away.
With basketball it's totally
different.
With
track it's a little different. Football it's a little different. Because football only plays once a week. So Thanksgiving will be the same, New Bedford. But out of the first 7 weeks, I mean, we actually had this year, if I recall, I believe we had a bye this year, so we only played 6 games before the week-to-week matchups in the tournament, and that's because of schedule, trying to find games. Yeah. Now you're going to automatically have BR and Dartmouth on the schedule. We usually play Dartmouth, but BR we haven't played the last couple of years, I believe. I think it's been at least 2 years. Very short serve. I'm. You know, each season starts to blend. But I think it's been a couple years since we've seen BR in football. So they're going to get back. They're going to get added in. We didn't play, I don't think they played BR this year for baseball. I'm going to double check that right now. But I don't recall playing them for baseball this year. So, and they were pretty much regular opponent as well. Oh, no, we did. My bad, we did. I'm going to say we almost always play BR. So, again, a lot of sports, we're seeing the same teams anyway. It's just that they're going to mean more, which is a nice thing. And I believe once you get a league that has more than 3 or 4 teams, if you get to like 5 teams, like it'll be, top 2 finishers go to the tournament. So like the Big 3, if you win all 4 Big 3 games and you bomb the other 16, you could still get in the tournament with a 4-16 record because you won the league.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But now this is because you won your division. I think of it as a division, basically, a league, a conference, however you want to say it. So, and that's why that was one reason I never liked the Big 3. So, and that's why there's been Zach and I doing baseball last week with the New Bedford game. You know, there was some, New Bedford wants to beat us bad because their record, they're not getting to the tournament unless they beat us the last game of the season. So they're trying to, they want to make it count, and it's like that's the problem with a 3-team league. If you have 12 losses on the season, I'm sorry, you don't belong in the tournament. That's just my opinion. But
it can happen with
the
Big 3. Yeah.
It's happened with Durfee, and I don't take anything away from the athletes. It's strength of schedule. There's a number of factors. Don't get me wrong, but in my opinion, when you have a team, I remember. See, with football, you get in on a point system. Strength of schedule has a play in it. If you beat a team that's like 3 divisions better than you, so let's say Diamond beat Durfee, right, in football. Yeah. They get like triple the points versus if Durfee beat Diamond, because Diamond's lower than Durfee.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at that kind of stuff, there was one year that a team that had no wins made the tournament bracket in football. They were 0-7. But because they had their schedule, they had like all D1, and it was like a Division 5 or 6 Mayflower team, I think it was. Or they had 1 win. We'll say they had 1 win. Durfee, no, it wasn't Division 5 or 6. It was actually Durfee's division. Because Durfee didn't make it in with 2 wins. They got in with 1 win. But it was a stronger scheduled win, a tougher opponent. So they got in because of the points. Yeah. So it's like, and it's the same deal with the league. If you bomb in every other game, but you happen to win the league because the league was weak, that doesn't work well for some other team that's like playing up in Boston with much more difficult opponents, for example, who barely misses the cut with 9 wins, double your wins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's such a tough. There's so many factors, and I mean, the league is like, the league. There's so many different rules and different ways to get in, and it's like I feel like it can be it's confusing for me. I feel like it almost needs to be looked at, and that's why I'm actually very happy that this is happening, because I'm not a fan of the 3-team league. I'm really not. So now you're going to have 8 games on your schedule for, say, volleyball or baseball. That's almost half your games. They're going to actually mean something now. So that's a real positive.
Yeah, that's good,
I think that's a good thing, because I think it's going to force you to force the seriousness of each game. You know what I mean?
I totally agree.
That's off. The deflection off of Kang. And Nara gets the point for the Hilltoppers. So 15-13 here in the second set.
It's looking to be one of those,
back
of those
and
sets
forth
again. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't terrible if it goes the way it did last time. But
right.
At least if you're a
fan of
Durfee.
I would like to not go to 5.
Honestly, I would not like to go to 5 either. Thank you very much.
I would just like, for once, to be a little easy for Durfee.
Yeah.
We've had so many, unfortunately, we've had some really good regular seasons, and we've had so many one-and-dones in the tournament that I would really, this would be so great to see volleyball win this and win it fairly simply. 4-point lead now here as we've crossed that halfway mark. 17-13, and Kuchar will keep serving. And I'm sure Coach Giottis doesn't want it to get too much further away. Maybe just a couple more points if Durfee continues this run. Oh, that sneaks right through the defense. As I spoke too soon, Gonzalez really just like a setter, the two-handed flip, and it went right through the hands of everybody. So 17-14, Taunton gets it back. Pretty good crowd here for the tournament game, but kind of quiet though. The New Bedford match, I mean, everybody was making so much noise. It was
at the end, at least. But
yeah,
New Bedford was just yelling by themselves for a little bit.
Well, that's true. It was they were yelling from the bench, like from the national anthem on. So
which isn't a terrible thing. I mean, it's just it livens up the arena. But I mean, well, let's see Durfee chant a little bit there too if New Bedford was getting it in. But you are right. This is very, very quiet for a
tournament game. I mean, it's early, but 18-14, and Taunton does call timeout with the 4-point deficit here. Certainly not out of reach, that's for sure. And while they're in the timeout here, we will read you one of the MIAA PSAs for the tournament, because this is the state tournament on Fred TV. A well-rounded education is one that is not only academically oriented, but one that also includes physical, social, and emotional development. Interscholastic athletics provide the other half of education. The MIAA encourages you to support your local high school athletic teams throughout the school year. Evan Massoud and Daniel Keating with you. 18-14 Hilltoppers here in set number 2. Already took set 1, 25-22, and looking to take a commanding 2-0 lead. Amazingly, Durfee used the entire timeout, which almost never happens, whether an opponent or Coach Kelly calls the timeout. And the Hilltoppers will serve. John Karam will do the honors. Good serve, going to the corner, and it is in.
Wow, that was...
I know, Kingman looked at it like, oh no. 19-14, and the lead continues to get bigger. Coming this way, that might have been gliding out, but they played it probably out of fear off the top of the tape.
Durfee's way again.
Right. 6-point lead for Durfee, 20-14. That played right on the line. But again, like Kingman watched it the last time, so probably, again, out of fear. Oh, how about that kill from Danny Keys?
Just releasing aggression on that one. My God.
It's like bowling. Take out one pin at a time, you know?
Honestly.
That would have landed in, so Kang has to play it. That is out. 22-14, and set 2 is starting to become a runaway.
And Taunton just needs to stop the bleeding anywhere they can.
I know. They called the timeout, 18-14, and John Karam has served them 4 straight points. Third touch coming here. It's going to fall. That's no good either. 9-point lead. That one just gets over a little lower. Saunders. Oh, mistimed it, and DiCavallo could not do anything with it. And that breaks up the run. That was 6 in a row for the Hilltoppers. Still a very strong lead here in set 2, 23-15.
Yeah, they still have a pretty big cushion to work with here, so they're not stressing too much on that.
Keys.
And
right to the ground. And you're right, set point, 24-15, and looks like it's going to be Cardozo serving. Look for, oh, coming to this side to Stewart.
Durfee looking to close it out here.
Ooh, diving in was Kang. Almost did fall in. That's tipped. That's gone. 25-15, a dominating second set, and the Hilltoppers up 2-0 in this best-of-5 round 1 tournament game. Two really good sets. The first one back and forth, and this one the Hilltoppers showing their strengths and really making Taunton pay for some of their mistakes. Good hard-nosed volleyball. We've played 2 here on Fred TV. We're going to step aside and take a quick break. Set number 3 up after this.
Hello, I am Kelly Susie Young, your election commissioner. We mailed out 50,000 census forms this year, and we'd like to hear back from you as soon as possible.
I'd like to fill out a census.
Sure. State and federal programs use census reports as a fair way to distribute funds for health, education, job training, as well as assistance for elders and veterans. Do you need a form? Call 508-324-2630. Your voter status is stated as active or inactive. If no changes are needed, simply sign and mail it back. To save postage and for your convenience, forms may be dropped off at Shores, Shavs Market, Seabra Foods, and both Stop and Shop locations. There is also a drop box like this one in the Government Center lobby to put your census in. Thank you, and we would love to hear from you.
We want you to hear it first.
A street sweeper is coming to your neighborhood. The Department of Community Maintenance, in cooperation with the Mayor's Office, as well as the Committee on Public Works, are collaborating to improve the cleanliness and overall appearance of our city streets. This restructured program runs through the summer. No parking times involve only a few hours and are similar to a parking ban during a snowstorm. This will enable the sweeper to reach both sides of the curb. Residents will have 1 day's notice to prepare, so be on the lookout for temporary signage. For more information, call John Perry at the Department of Community Maintenance at 508-324-2760 or contact Laura Ferreira at the Traffic Department at 508-324-2577. To see a list of the scheduled streets, visit the city's website at www.fallriverma.org.
You've heard it.
Now please help us keep our city clean. Thank you.
Honor, courage, sacrifice, pride, our city. Fall River has traditionally been in the forefront of honoring our nation's soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen. Vietnam veterans took the initiative to secure rights to an 80% size replica of the Healing Wall for Veterans Bicentennial Park. The names of over 58,000 fallen heroes will be engraved on the 360-foot-long replica wall. 100% of the money raised benefits the building of our Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Fall River. Help build our wall, which is scheduled to open in 2020. The meaning, the spirit, and the value of the wall is everyone's. Be part of this exceptional, once-in-a-lifetime project. To make a donation, please visit VietnamMemorialWall.org or connect with us at Facebook.com.
Okay, set number 3 about to begin here at the Fieldhouse. Evan Massoud and Daniel Keating with you. The MIAA State Tournament brought to you by Fred TV. Round 1 of the South D1 bracket, Taunton at Durfee. And the Hilltoppers start off ahead here in the third set with yet another block up front by Cardozo. He has just been outstanding at the net this afternoon.
He has.
Kuchar back to serve. The Hilltoppers, again, up 2-0. That's big-time trouble.
That's going Durfee's way.
Hello. Santiago. Full sprint to the bleachers. It was not played cleanly by Kingman.
And back to the curtain we go.
Right.
For the serve.
And we know Kuchar likes to use the whole court so that it's almost, this could be trouble. No, Kuchar back there. And nicely done by Durfee to recover that one. But I almost think, if you can play it right, yet another block. If you play it right by being back there, you get a little more power on the ball, number one. Number two, it's dropping before it's even, past the net.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of the positive there. If you're serving at the line, more than likely it's going to be more of an arc. See how it just dropped right before it got past the antennas. That's trouble. Keys can't get there that time, and Taunton with their first point of the third set. And Santiago will go back to serve. Again, if you're just joining us, Durfee won the first set 25-22, real back and forth matchup there. And then in set two, though, pulled away big time late. That's in. Pulled away late and won it by 10, 25-15. That's really considered a blowout here, and particularly for the playoffs. But that you can win a set by 10 points, basically holding your opponent to half the number that they're supposed to get to. That's a really strong set for Durfee to come off set two and go into this third set. So they're up 2-0, and looking for what would be a sweep if they can win this third set. And they would move on to the quarterfinals and face the number one seed, New Bedford Volk, on the road. Saunders with the set. Keys. Oh, it's sent back and saved. Yes, it is. And a point's going to Taunton. Keys wants it back. And the Hilltoppers get it that time. So Cardoso will serve now. That is in. Right on the line.
That was close, but luckily we have those two officials to...
You're right. The linesman telling the story. Tavares gets credit for that one. Really good swing from him on that far side of the net, crossing to this corner. Gonzalez will serve. Got a little more on it that time. His serves have been kind of soft.
That's trouble.
That is trouble. That's going to the screen. And Di Carvalho, I'll tell you, he's really had a good year. And I said this to Kelly earlier in the year, too, that I actually thought he was a senior this year. But he's coming back next year, and he's going to factor in big time on this team because he's been a player here in his junior year.
Yeah.
As will this kid, Thomas Michael. Great serve. Will they get it over? They do. Great recovery by the Tigers right there. That's in.
Covered that.
Keys finds the open court. 7-4. That was just a little short. So they give one back. And serving will now be Hagemeyer. Nera working the corner. It's off the hands. And boy, he's had a lot of success on this near side. The matchups have been favorable for him. How many times we've seen him go right off the hands, and that's been the difference between what Durfee's done in front defensively to what they're doing to what Taunton is doing, defensively. They have not been able to do the same thing. They have an injured player here, Santiago, the setter, it appears. I think he is okay and going to stay in. So now Keys ready to serve. He was gesturing to the ankle, might have landed wrong, maybe even been stepped on. Everybody's jumping at the net. You don't see where you're coming down.
Yeah.
How about that spike from, was that Tavares again, I believe, number 2? Yes, it was. Another possession change.
I mean, he's the only 6'4" one out there, so I'm thinking it's him too.
Yep, and he just subbed out for his sophomore counterpart, Tyler Stewart, who's also 6'4". Nera flips it over. Stewart has to basically set. That is in. Way to make something out of nothing. And it's a 1-point game here in the third.
And Taunton is just looking more lively than they did in the first 2 sets, so that's good for them moving forward.
Well, the backs are against the wall because
they are.
They have to win or the game is done. They got to keep advancing here. They got to keep forcing sets. That's going to fall in. It sure looked like Durfee was going to have that point, and they did not execute. Taunton made a nice play defensively and sent it back, and it's 8-8.
Just like Durfee last week, they were down by 2, and they came back.
How about that from Saunders? A blind kick over the net, and Kang could not get there. Just like that, Durfee gets it back. Saunders going to serve as well. And Saunders is a lefty, so that was his dominant hand as well. Where he's placed works out very well for that. Going to set for Nera. Nera did not leap, didn't get a good look at it. Kingman, third touch going over. Keys from the back. Back to Nera, good leap, but he's playing back from the net at the 10-foot line there, and he could not make it count.
And just like that, 9-9.
Right to Saunders. Nera on the far side. That is in. Oh! I thought it was in. And then Durfee wanted the deflection, which they didn't get. Taunton with a lead. It's 10-9. We haven't said that much tonight.
No, we haven't.
Trying to get it right back to Saunders. Going to flip it back to Nera. Nera sends it over with both hands.
That looked like a. It looked like a little bit of a
carry.
Yeah, it did.
I was completely.
Right here.
I was screened by our officials, so I did not see
really?
it.
Yeah, no, it looked like he just scooped it up, but it will be Taunton's point.
Official talking to one of the Tigers. I'm not sure of the conversation, but we had a bit of a pause there. Taunton playing with all kinds of confidence right now. Everything working. And Durfee, all of a sudden, looking a little lost out there in a timeout. In position to sweep here in round one. And 5 straight points for the Tigers on a lot of errors for Durfee. These are not necessarily earned points for the Tigers, so Hilltoppers going into that timeout to regroup a little bit.
Looks like they just took the energy from the last set that Taunton had.
Seriously.
And that's kind of how it's been played out here. So they'll look to make adjustments in this timeout.
That's a quick timeout for the Hilltoppers. Meanwhile, this from the MIAA. More than 200,000 students will participate in approximately 100,000 high school sport competitions among the MIAA's 360 member schools this year. The MIAA encourages you to support your local high school athletic programs and the students who participate in them. And Taunton, again, going to use most of their time out. I mean, the message is pretty quick and simple, I would say, from Brendan Kelly to the Hilltoppers is, look, we're better than this. Let's correct it, get the points back, and move on.
Exactly. That's all you can ask as a coach at this stage in the game.
Now the Durfee faithful getting loud, stomping on the bleachers.
And I'm sure our camera is not liking that.
No. Kang there to dig that one out. Keys plays it. Saunders with the set. Nera moving to this side. And the Hilltoppers do not come out on top of that exchange either. 5-point deficit for Durfee. Oh! But it goes out.
No, really? Wow.
Hilltoppers asking for the deflection. Apparently didn't get it again. 6-point lead for Taunton. Oh, Saunders with a heck of an effort to keep that in play, and now he's racing all the way back. And that falls out of play as well. 16-9. And the Tigers are running away with this third set. Hilltoppers need to get out of this rotation. Get Kingman off the court.
There is the first point for the Hilltoppers in a while. Hopefully that'll be a momentum swing of some sort.
Well, they're going to get Kuchar up front. I mean, to serve rather, and they got DiCarvalho back in there up front. They lose Nera, but Kuchar serving is a good thing for Durfee. You got to play defense. Two big guys up there up front for Taunton. Haven't really seen that yet in the match. Oh, Keys there to dig it out. And the Hilltoppers lose it. Right back to Taunton it goes. A lot of miscommunication up front there. Santiago, the setter, going back to serve. Oh, boy. And that's another point for Taunton. A great swing from DiCarvalho, but again, all for naught. The blockers were there for Taunton.
It's just a brick wall of defense for Taunton.
I mean, this is like a complete 180 from what we just saw in the second set.
Although, so far, in both of my, well, in this one, if you're counting this one, in both of my commentating days, it's been like that.
Right.
The first two and the first two after that are totally different sets.
19-10. Taunton ahead here. Durfee really in quite a hole. That one going to another time zone.
If you notice, he just floats over the line when he serves.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed that a couple times. He was way over that line.
But that's legal.
But yeah, it is legal because you don't.
You're in the air. John Karam will serve. And the Hilltoppers arguably with their best front here. Again, minus Nera because you can't have four up front. But Nico, Nelson, and Danny, really good front end here. That's kept in.
Oh. That was something to watch. Wow.
Both players fighting for that ball, and Danny Keys comes away with the point.
And Durfee will serve with a 7-point deficit. Let's see. Oh, make that 8.
Taunton gets it right back. Another good kill. This is this third set looking like it's all Taunton right now. Hilltoppers get one little wave of momentum, but Taunton shuts it right down again. Danny Keys.
And nothing is going Durfee's way. And those, I mean, from right here, they look pretty close on.
Hilltopper's going to get to reset here. DiCarvalho, that's in.
Yeah, this is one going to Durfee.
And Nico Cardozo will serve again. Played by Kang. Going to Tavares. Kuchar plays it. Third touch here. DiCarvalho sends it over. It's played by Gonzalez. Nice job by Kuchar. Ready for it back there. That was tough to handle.
A game of pinball right there.
Right.
And that one looks to be going.
No, it's kept in. It's still in play, and the Hilltoppers keep it alive again.
What a great hustle. Wow.
That's off the net. Out of play! And a fist pump from Danny Keys. You want to talk about all-out effort from the whole team to keep that in play, not once, but twice. A huge point for Durfee. I mean, you lose that, and it's like a defeat. It's almost like set number 3 is done. That was such a huge point to get back, given how hard he had to fight for it. Oh, that's a carry.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they did not call that, because that that's out. I mean, Keys practically, like lofted that over. I'm surprised they did not call that. But nonetheless, again, the point to Taunton. Hagemeyer. 22-14. And that brief burst of excitement for the Hilltoppers didn't last very long.
I think Durfee just needs to look for the next set at this point. Kind of work on what you have to adjust on.
No, I would agree. I think this set's kind of a lost cause right now. 23-14. And again, anytime the Hilltoppers get a point, can't seem to
retain possession of the serve.
Can't seem to get a run going.
Oh. Well, there's one. Let's see if they can get somewhat of a run going off this point.
So it should be 23-15 now. There it is. And Thomas Michael will serve. Nera, Keys, and Saunders up front. That's out of play.
We have 1 point being built off this. Let's see if it can go any further.
That was, right through the fingers. I didn't think it was going to make it over, to be honest with you. And then
yeah, no, it didn't look like it.
And then Gonzalez went down to dig it out, and it just ricocheted right off the fist. That is going to be out. And a set point for the Tigers. First time they've had that in the match. Trying to force a fourth.
Something's going on right now.
Yeah, checking the scores table here. I think maybe somebody might have been out of rotation. Because now our official talking to Coach Giottis. So Hagemeyer going back to serve. But he just did. Yeah, rotational issues here for the Tigers. So now Saunders talking to Coach Kelly and the official.
I'm interested to see here. Is the point going to be?
I think that's what happens if I'm hearing them right. Is that there's a change? Might be a change in possession, or at least a point or something.
Something's going to happen, but not too sure what
Well,
yet.
the key is they had to have been out of rotation, which it sure seemed like they were, considering the fact that one player left the court who was about to serve, and then another player just came back to serve. But I guess we're going right back to it, it appears. Yeah, nothing is changing. So 24-17, set point for Taunton. Going back toward Keys, and it is blocked. Saunders has to go and chase it down. Nera sends it over on the third. Kang plays it. Looking to set for Tavares. It is off the hands of Keys and Nera. Now the set for Keys. It's blocked back. Cardozo keeps it in play. Saunders to Karam on the third. Kang again. The set back to Tavares again. It's blocked out of play. And the Hilltoppers, as good as they were in that second set, did not look anywhere near that here in this third set. They drop it 25-17. Taunton gets their first set win and will go to 4. Yeah, just like totally opposite from what we've seen in the second set. Durfee really did not look anything like they did in set number 2. I'm very surprised. I mean, obviously, Taunton's going to make some adjustments too, but I didn't see too many different looks per se to say that the Hilltoppers would be that like perplexed over what's getting thrown at them. Just a really tough set, especially having that commanding lead. So you don't want this to go to 5. I can tell you that.
No.
You don't want this to go to 5 because who's going to have the momentum? Taunton.
Exactly.
Coming back from 2 down, just like what happened last week when Durfee came back against New Bedford. So you really want to see this end in 4 if you're Durfee, because if it goes to 5, I don't like the chances.
Yeah, no,
I don't.
It's
just
not very
don't.
probable for Durfee if it goes to 5.
All right. From the MIA, high school sports provide an extension of the classroom where students learn to pursue excellence, the value of working with others toward a common goal, playing within the structure of established rules, discipline, loyalty, and emotional control. The MIAA urges you to demonstrate your support for these values and for our young people by attending high school competitions in your community. Hilltoppers and Tigers, Durfee versus Taunton in round 1 of the South D1 boys volleyball bracket here at the Fieldhouse. Durfee up 2-1 after dropping that third. Evan Massoud and Daniel Keating with you here on Fred TV as we bring you exclusive coverage of Durfee here in Fall River in the tournament.
And Taunton does not want to start their summer early, so they are
Right.
showing every ounce of fight here in this. Well, in the last set they did, so they're looking to come out and win the set too. So see how Durfee can kind of adjust from from the mistakes they made last time, and make different adjustments here.
Well, I think the key here is try to get off to a good start, and unfortunately that's not it, as the serve goes just long. But I mean, really, you got to get to. You don't want to give Taunton any momentum to start this fourth set. You want to take control right back. Try to put some points up early and get into a rhythm. And that will give Durfee the ball back. And we'll get to see Kuchar serve. Santiago setting for Gonzalez. Comes back. Durfee with the point. Calling the carry. Out. However, it doesn't matter. Again, the deflection. So 2-2 as Stewart gets credit for that point. Lots of height up front for the Tigers here in this rotation. Not played well there by
not at all.
Marcelo Cardozo. Kind of the reactionary hit first, and then had nothing else to do but to hit it again.
I think he knew it was the double hit.
Going back.
It's like trouble.
Yeah,
yes,
and
it is.
Off the fist of Santiago. Well done by Kingman, though, to get back there. I actually thought it was going to just keep sailing, but he made it there. But
and we are even again, 3-3.
John Karam on the serve. Keys up front now. Not a good set from Santiago. That is the third touch. No, I thought it was. Looked like it was. I guess they're calling it on like a defensive hit. I thought that was number 3.
Me too. It looked just, most likely defensive hit. That's the only other option here, but it looked like 3 to me. It didn't look like it was getting there, but it did.
Off the net, now the third touch. Santiago setting for Gonzalez. Blocked, sent up toward the rafters, and they'll have Gonzalez hit it again. That's going toward the line. Kuchar plays it. Saunders the set. Keys blocked in front. Can't get through. We'll try on the other side. Di Carvalho sends it over. Gonzalez getting ready, and they go to the far side to Hagemeyer. Another block in front. And that falls in. Hilltoppers with the point. Right on the line. Going to Tavares. Didn't get all of it, and John Karam getting called on the deflection.
And that one didn't look like it needed to be touched at all.
No, it was going.
Yeah.
So that's a tough break for Durfee.
Barely touched
because
it, but
Tavares kind of sees shaking his hand, a kind of a stinger there. He didn't get the right part of the hand or on that ball. That's going to fall in as well. We go back and forth here through the first 10 points. 5-5.
And Gonzalez comes out here, so they lose a little bit of height.
Santiago going to set for Kingman. He didn't get a good hit on it either.
Great hustle.
That's going to fall in. The Hilltoppers with the lead here now, 6-5. Coming back towards the net. Still in play, and the Hilltoppers keep it alive. Tavares, see ya later. Going for the home run ball, and it's saying it was deflected. Didn't, unless it was.
Man, that landed in a different time zone. Never mind.
Didn't look like it redirected either.
No, it didn't. I don't know about that one.
6-6. Oh, did you see that dive?
Yeah.
And another deflection from the Hilltoppers as it went out of play. That's 3 times in this 4th set that's happened. 7-6, Taunton back ahead. Keys buries it between the defenders and the net. And now he'll serve. I mean, the Hilltoppers really need to put together a little bit of a run here. The rhythm is just not there from what it was at the end of the first and all throughout the second.
No, it's definitely not. I mean, it seemed like in the first and second, everything was going Durfee's way, you know, and even in the first one, it was so close. I felt like Durfee had all the momentum. You could see it. They had the longer possession times. They were serving, and they just seemed to have all the momentum. Where now it's like once Durfee gets the possession, it's going right back to Taunton. And I mean, and they're still very close in it. I just feel like Taunton is getting way more momentum in this.
So 8-7, the Tigers ahead now. Once again, Kang will serve. As we go back to work on the floor here from after Keys dove. Saunders lofting it, unable to set it properly, and the Hilltoppers lose that exchange. They have to send it back. That's a point for Durfee. I'll tell you, I'm seeing from both sides a lot of balls that seem to be getting kind of pushed and carried over the net. And I'm really surprised because if this was the New Bedford match from last week, none of those would have, none of that would have, really.
And I noticed that too on some of the putbacks, like three plays in a row. I noticed it one time. So it was just, and even I heard people behind me calling it. So
really,
they're just not getting called.
And the latest being, I'm referring to Stewart on that last possession, that last rally.
And Durfee's back up.
Another good swing from Nera. (10-8). Kingman right to the open corner with authority. Oh, that was going out, too. That's a tough break because that one was sailing. You know, Kucha right on that line. I'm surprised that he did play that because being right on the line, obviously you know where it's going to fall.
Yeah.
A wasted point there, unfortunately, for the Hilltoppers.
Now like another carry two right there.
Third touch. Just a little flip over for Stewart. Kingman really went on a run serving in that third set. And he's serving right now, 3 straight. Good block up front. Another good block. Gonna try to reset now, Gonzalez. Point for the Tigers. It's almost a carbon copy of what we saw in the in the third
like
set, and they got to get Kingman out of there. They can't return his serves and set, and it's given them a free look. What a job by the Tigers to keep that going. They're going to try again. Can't do it. Look out for Gonzalez. And a net violation for the Hilltoppers. Going back with it, wrong direction. There you go.
And there is Durfee's first
Nara with a
point in
little
while.
talk right back to the Tigers too. A little chatter there at the net. 14-11, Durfee gets a point back. Kuchar will serve. More importantly, it takes Kingman out of the service game for the Tigers. Oh, what a swing and a block in front. The Tigers just seem a lot more mobile than they were earlier in the game. Yeah. That's, I think, part of it here is they get into everything. And in front of the net, once again, Marcelo Cardozo can't make it happen. He's really struggled up front today. That one falls in. Right over the net between the defenders.
And we're looking at 12-15. Durfee is down by 3.
Karam will serve. He's had a good night serving. Into the net it goes. And it's 15-13.
John Karam to serve again.
Santiago looking for Gonzalez. Didn't get much on it. Sends it right back, though. And he'll get another look. And he goes right to the court. Coach Amanda Machado, one of the assistant coaches, getting very vocal here in this fourth set from the bench, standing up, giving direction. Not normally what you see from an assistant coach. Danny Keys with the spike. And now Nico Cardozo will serve. Good serve there from Gonzalez. Ooh, quick set. Oh! Double hit from Keys. But in a good way. A true double. One try after the next.
Durfee is gaining momentum slowly, but it is definitely a lot closer than it was in the third set.
Oh, Karam there in the right spot. Third touch going over. Kang now to Santiago, setting up Kingman. Karam there
Great
again.
save.
Nice job sticking the hand out. Kang back to Kingman. Right in front. Nera to Saunders. To Keys. Going, still in play and gone. Hilltoppers within one. And the crowd coming alive again. This is a good serve from Thomas Michael. Flipped over, and nobody there protecting. Tavares back in and making an impact for the Tigers. Nobody able to get there. You know, the momentum shift in this match, it's like 2 points, seems like it's 10 right now for the Hilltoppers.
No, it does, yeah.
Can't put a string of points together, it seems.
And that's been the problem since the end of the second set.
Well, Taunton making what's been what we'll call a rare mistake, because they've barely made any mistakes since the start of the third. And the Hilltoppers take advantage of that with the point and get to control now. Keys on the serve. Here comes Kingman. Cardozo there, it's sailing out. And once again, Durfee trailing by 2. Kang on the serve to Kuchar. Saunders setting to Nera, and it's played. Kingman again. Kuchar is there. Oh!
Wow.
Knocks Cardozo down for the 20th point.
And this is the time Durfee needs to put together a run, because once you hit 20, 21, 22, it's just seems like if you're down by 3, just the team that's always in that situation wins the set.
That's what I mean. No matter what Durfee's doing right
man.
now, they're not defending Kingman right now, that's for sure. And a timeout for Durfee. Taunton with all the momentum. back up by 4 in the wrong time to be trailing for the Hilltoppers. 21-17.
So, Golden State and the Raptors face off tonight, and unfortunately, I see another Warriors title, but the odds the Raptors put it together.
Well, Toronto knocked out the Bucks.
They did.
And they were the #1 seed. They were tough all year.
But they're no Golden State.
No.
You know, they have Golden State has so many weapons. If the Raptors can take one at they're away, right? I think they're away because they have the worst record.
Yeah.
If they can take one without Kevin Durant, and DeMarcus Cousins I heard might be coming back too. So if they get DeMarcus Cousins and Kevin Durant back, and the Warriors are ahead regardless, I think it's the end of it. But if the Raptors can put together 1 or 2 games when Kevin Durant's not there and DeMarcus Cousins is not there, I think that kind of throws off your momentum and your team chemistry.
Right. Well, you never know. Anything can happen.
No, you're right.
Anything can happen. Now the Bruins.
They lost
and the
last night,
Blues. Yeah, the Bruins and the Blues tied now, and Bruins really did not look good last night. That's for sure. They really were not as sharp as they were in Game 1. Game 2, I think they kind of handed to the Blues a little bit.
Wasn't it 4-5? The final score, something like that?
No. 3-2.
Oh, really?
It was tied at 2 going into overtime.
Oh, okay.
That right down to the court as well. And it's 22-17. Taunton finding a way through that front line for Durfee that was just impenetrable in the first 2 sets. Everything going Taunton's way.
Look at that. Somebody just like died out right over the net and just fell.
Is this the break Durfee needed? Quick serve from Saunders. Kingman out. 22-19.
Well, now Durfee's down by 3, and you got to put together something here if you want to. It'd be a close finish if Durfee was to put something together here.
Well, that's the key, is putting something together. And the run has been few and far between.
They got it.
Just barely, but the linesman making the call. It's a 2-point game. Another good serve from Saunders. Kingman. Tipped and in.
Man, just no one back to.
No.
The good news is if we do see a 5th set, it will be a shortened 5th set. So that's always the good news.
That's right. First to 15. That's going to fall in. 4th one not done just yet. 23-21 as the Hilltoppers trying to push it down to the wire here. Again, if they come back and they win it, it's done. So Taunton playing for their lives right now. Hilltoppers in control. Kuchar will serve. Santiago with a set toward the net. 3rd touch, and Keys has to send it over. And now set point for the Tigers.
You said Taunton was playing for their lives, but I'm not too sure with this set. Durfee's been trailing pretty much the whole set, so it's looking like a 5th set here. If Taunton can...
Not just yet.
No.
Again, the Hilltoppers have life. Still a set point, though, for Taunton, so the Hilltoppers cannot afford any mistakes as they have to serve here. They control their own fate in this 4th set. And it looks like it's going to be John Karam serving again. He's been very solid. Santiago giving the Hilltoppers second life here. That's short and into the net. And Taunton forces the 5th set, 25-22. So we go to the 5th. Something that the Hilltoppers did not want, especially when you consider that they were up 2-0 in this set. And, I mean, again, coming off of what was a dominating second set to look as flat as they did in the third just makes you wonder because, I mean, all the momentum was Durfee's. Every bit of it was Durfee's.
It was.
They went and outscored Taunton in that second set, I believe, if I'm got my numbers right here. They went and outscored Taunton to end that last set there 10-1. And then to come back and lose by 8, and it wasn't even close in that third set. That's a big-time swing in terms of momentum for Taunton. Knowing you're down by 2, forcing a 4th set, and then to hang on and win the 4th set here. Taunton has every bit of momentum.
And that is not a good thing for Durfee right now.
No.
Just got to stay in the game and kind of think of the score as 0-0 and the game just started.
Yes.
Just play your volleyball and see how it turns out.
Both teams going to use all the time here in between. And again, as you said, it is the shortened 5th set. So 1st to 15, we'll switch sides at 8. Dr. Malone in the house. Just heard him say, I want to win. Well, so do the Hilltoppers.
That's what we're hoping to do.
Again, the winner of this will go on to face the #1 seed, New Bedford Volk, as they go into the Bears Cave at New Bedford Volk. The Bears would host. They were 18-1 and earned a first-round bye. So these two teams vying for a spot against the top dog in the bracket. Will it be Taunton? Will it be Durfee? Every one of the 3 matches, that includes this one, that these teams have played this year have gone the distance. Both teams with 1 win apiece, each winning on their home court.
This is to kind of settle the the playing field here. 1-1. Who is the most dominant team against these two?
They got Kingman serving, so if you're the Hilltoppers, you want to point real quick here, and they got it. That's big. Kingman will not serve for a while. And the Hilltoppers start off with the first point, start off on the right foot, and they get to serve. And it's Saunders who will head back there to do so. And he wastes no time. Again, serving right away. Quick serve. Sent right back over. That was Nera. We'll go to Stewart again. Nobody back. Hilltoppers are not protecting the back line. That's for sure. And Taunton took advantage of that once again. It's 1-1. Out it goes. 2-1. And now Kuchar will serve.
Wow.
That one just gets over. Oh, good swing but played by Santiago. Key's going to get another set. No, they're going to DiCavallo.
It looked like trouble for a second. It's
sent over, and they'll set again. Oh, right to the ground. DiCavallo with a power spike. If you blinked, you missed it.
And Durfee has life. It's looking like in this fifth set.
Right down to the ground again, and it's 4-1.
This is something we haven't seen since the first two.
Yeah.
So it's going pretty well for Durfee.
Well, these are the kind of you want to keep putting up points and just try to maintain possession here. That's the number one thing. Maintain possession.
Yeah, the best thing for
right by Kuchar. Right by Kuchar. He was flat-footed and frozen solid to the ground. Never saw that one coming. So Stewart will go and serve now for the Tigers. Another error for the Hilltoppers, and just like that, 4-3 the score. Keys trying to drop it over. It looks like a net violation. So 5-3, and Keys will serve. Hilltoppers have not relinquished the lead in this fifth set so far. And for Durfee with 5 points, a third of the way there, that was in play. No deflection, that fell right in play in the back line again where nobody was for the Hilltoppers. Durfee can't do anything with it that time. So third touch, and go to Kingman. Saunders is there. Cardozo sends it up. And that could be trouble. No, it's kept in. Kingman will send it over. It's going out! And Cardozo will serve.
And Durfee's looking like a different team, at least to start this fifth set.
DiCarvalho once again. Boy, Nelson's got the arm swinging strong. Another good, oh, it just missed. Santiago just a little excited that that one hit the net. And the celebration there for the Tigers. That's blocked. 7-6. And that went into the net. Durfee with the 8th point, and we switch sides neck and neck here in the 5th. Hilltoppers will try to win it here on the side where their home crowd is.
And that's how it kind of went last time too.
Right.
They tried to win it on the side the home crowd was on, and then they did win it. So if you're superstitious, this is looking good for Durfee.
Thomas Michael ready to serve here. 8-6. Again, 1st to 15. Short serve, kind of didn't put that much on it. Oh, Keys digs it out, and it's going to fall. Nobody up front. DiCarvalho coming right back in and then swapping out for Kuchar, who's the libero, as Thomas Michael exits after one serve. Kang going to try to even the score. Nera with a good hit. It's deflected and played. Nobody there. Blockers up front. Ball falls in. We're tied at 8. That tips over.
And they didn't think it was going to get there. He was not ready for that.
Nope, not at all.
On the last second.
Taunton with their first lead of the 5th. It's 9-8. That one falls in, and Durfee draws even again. What did I say earlier about, can it just be easy once? Not meant to be easy, that's for sure.
Can never be easy.
John Karam. Good serve, that one gets over. Gonna set up Stewart. Blocked.
The block, yeah.
Needing some help, it goes over, but it goes out of play. And now Kingman serving.
That is not good for Durfee.
With a 1-point lead. Saunders with the set for Keys. And the Hilltoppers caught napping again.
Jeez,
Taunton finding every spot on the floor that it's unguarded. And now Taunton with a 2-point lead. That's coming back, and that is gonna be in. Oh, it's out. Wow, that was so very close. Saunders with the serve. Durfee needing to draw even again as they continue to trail. And that sure looked like a carry as well.
And now Durfee trails by 2. And game point, as you mentioned, was going to be 14 because we're going to 15. So
12-10.
They're not too far from game point.
Keys has to send it over. Saunders out of position, having to play it. And nobody home, 13-10. Tigers pull within 2 of the win. Largest lead for either side of this set. And the Hilltoppers call timeout.
And this is not something you want in the 5th set to have a team so close to game point and you're 3 behind. So if you're the Hilltoppers here, you kind of just got to readjust. Like it's start from 0-0 again, you know?
Well, when you consider the lead that Durfee had a couple times to start this 5th set, to be trailing this late in it by 3 is utterly disappointing.
It's just Taunton took advantage of every weakness that Durfee displayed here and kind of brought it back.
Right.
And and made use of their mistakes in the first 2 to kind of better themselves in the second 2 and the second 3 right now.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right.
Let's see what Durfee can make
Saunders
of this.
can't even set it. See, it just was not returned well. Too much on it.
Oh.
Still in play. Someone's going to help, and they do. Keys keeps it alive thanks to Nera and Karam. And that falls in. Once again, open court.
And
players bunched up and not spread out to defend. And the Hilltoppers are down to their last point.
Durfee's season is on a wire right now, thin wire. And depending on what happens here is
game point for the Tigers. That's coming back, and that's it.
Taunton is moving on to round 2 to face
the Tigers. Come back. Yep, New Bedford Vogue. They come back from down 2-0 and stun the Hilltoppers. And Durfee with
that's the season.
That's the season. A team that arguably was one of the strongest that Coach Kelly's had in the last few years will leave scratching their heads. A lot of points left on the table here today. So Durfee one and done here in the state tournament. Again, left stunned at the outcome here as Taunton comes in and crawls back from down 2-0 and wins it at the Fieldhouse. Well, volleyball is done here in 2019. We await to see where Hilltoppers baseball will play, as well as Diamond baseball and Diamond softball. Those pairings come out next Tuesday, June 4th. So get on Facebook, like and follow the Fred TV Sports Facebook page. We'll have all those matchups as soon as they become available. Thanks for tuning in here on Fred TV. For Jake Fitzgerald behind the camera, Daniel Keating, my broadcast partner, I'm Evan Massoud saying so long from the Fieldhouse.